Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things to do in life, which is fishing. Now, fishing is looked at as very boring. You just sit there and you wait for a fish to bite, similar to watching paint dry. But this is just not true. There are many different types of ways to fish that make it much more enjoyable than that. Now, let's start off with talking about different types of fishing lures. So, there are many, many thousands of types of fishing lures on the market. The main three categories that are available are hard plastics, soft plastics, and top waters. Hard plastics are going to be just like what they sound like a fake hard plastic fish. So if you try to squeeze it, nothing's going to happen because it's hard plastic. And then the soft plastics, it's the same thing as the hard plastics, but they're not hard, they're soft, similar to I don't know, squishing one of those uh, foam ball things, like they're squishy, and you put them on hooks. With hard plastics, you just tie them to the end of your line. And then there's top waters, and that's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bait that just sits on the top of the water. When you use it, it won't sink. Now, these different types of lures work in different scenarios. Example of a hard plastic lure that would work best is in like a rocky bottom stream. Doesn't have to be a rocky bottom, but that's one of the prime scenarios where you'd want it. An example of a hard plastic lure that would work best in a rocky bottom would be a crankbait, which is a hard plastic fish that has a little lip on the front to make it look like it's swimming whenever you're reeling it in. And then for most ponds, a soft plastic worm works, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a soft plastic fake worm that you just throw on a hook, and you have to jig it up and down to make it look like a worm's floating slash swimming in the water. And then if you're somewhere where there's lily pads or a lot of grass sitting on top of the water, somewhere where a frog would be living, so a topwater frog would work well there. And with topwaters, you actually get to see the fish come up to the top of the surface and bite your lure, which is very cool. And these different lures could also be used to catch different fish. For example, they make a full-sized topwater duck, like this big, that catches muskie. And then now we're going to talk about different types of fish, which I'm just going to keep it to your local freshwater fish since there's no salt water in Pennsylvania. The most common that you're going to find just about anywhere, literally any body of water, is bass. They're very easy to catch, so a lot of people go for them. Another type of popular fish you'll find is trout. Now, trout, they're mainly going to be found in small local streams, and they're a little bit harder to catch because they're smarter than bass. They're more likely to see you standing outside of the water or see your line in the water and get scared. And the third type of fish that's could be found very easily is catfish. Now, catfish, you got to be careful if you catch one because their spines and some of their fins are very sharp, so you can end up slicing your hand open, which is not fun. And then some of the more elusive fish in the area are pike and muskie. And they could be found either in bigger creeks or rivers or lakes. Now, these fish have very sharp teeth, so if you catch one, you can't grab it by the mouth. You have to hold it by the body in a specific way. And the last type of fish that you're likely to find around here is carp. And carp are the biggest freshwater fish around. Around here, they could get up to about 50 pounds max, I'd say, but in other areas like the UK, they could get up to 80 or 90 pounds. Very crazy. But in conclusion, fishing is more than something you do to just satisfy your redneck uncle who wants you to fish one day. It's a true art form, and I really hope I helped you guys to see that.